everybody, welcome back to The Experience again with SpicySnafu. I'm Brian, this is Taylor. And today we're going to talk about something that goes all the way back to the annuals of time to when guys were first carrying pouches made out of skins and spears. It's called sustainment.
Yeah.
So we're going to give a rough draft, a run breakdown on the basics of it. But first, Webster is going to read you the definition of it.
I'm going to use my college degree and my words here.
Your wordism.
The big words.
Word-a-later?
All right, so I am on the Merriam-Webster.com website, and I've looked up sustainment, and it said the act of sustaining, and then you go to sustaining, and you finally get to the root word of sustain, and here we are. It's like tactical college English. Here's the top 3 definitions of sustain. So number 1 is to give support or relief to. Number 2 is to supply with sustenance, and then it says nourish next to that. And the third one is to keep up or prolong. So those all 3 sound pretty important, like, you know, just in your general daily life, right? But when you get into having to carry all of the stuff that you need on your person, that's a whole other ball game, and I don't know anything about that. So again, like last time, I'm probably going to shut up. Maybe. But
I would prefer not, but... So, in my opinion, sustaining is like situation dictates.
Yeah.
You're not going to need to, when you go to the store, carry a bunch of gear to sustain yourself. But if you're going to hit the wood line or the desert or the mountains or the bad environments, you do need some type of sustainment. Like even if you're going to go hiking, there's going to be a level of sustainment you need. If you're going to go into a fighting scenario, combat scenario, you must be able to sustain yourself. So the way we did it when I was in is your rucksack and everything you had on your body, which would be like your load-bearing equipment, your ruck, your weapon, would be for 30 days with a supply train coming in, bringing you stuff like we called it log pack. And it's when trucks would come in and they bring water and food and extra gear, whatever you needed, that's 30 days. And then your A bag, which is a duffel bag, would be to push it out 60. And then you would keep getting those resupplies. Like we'd go out so long to where our uniforms would disintegrate, tear up, stuff like that. And that's usually when you would get to trade in your boots and your uniforms for new gear. But at a basic level, as an individual soldier, you need to carry water, food, ammunition, first aid. And that's why like we have my LBE sitting up here because it's, you know, it's I love it. It's my fave. And in a butt pack, I could carry 2 field stripped MREs. I could carry water purification tabs, a poncho liner, spare socks, and a sweater.
So poncho's like a shelter in addition, right? So now you're covering like basic human needs.
Right.
In the sense of, okay, I can get out of the rain. I can cover myself from some like weather. I guess that white stuff falls in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't really happen here much, but it'd be nice to just like not be miserable the entire time. I mean, granted, you can't really pick where you have to be if you're in a trench in frozen Eastern Europe somewhere. That would suck. I bet a poncho would make life good.
Yeah, you're
or at least less bad.
Because with a poncho in a cold weather environment, with a poncho, you can build snow walls, pitch a TP type or a A-frame type shelter out of 2 ponchos snapped together. Pack ice of snow around it to keep the wind out. In the desert, you can dig down, put your poncho, sand, put another poncho, sand to cause an air gap to give you some relief from the heat.
Interesting.
In the jungle, we would take the corner of it up against a tree and run it down so you can get under it like a lean-to.
Yeah, I'm sure people use it to like water collect or other crazy things. Who knows, right?
Or hey, you could even wear it.
I guess it also could be used for its intended original purpose.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah. There was a time when we were doing some stuff and it was extremely cold and I had little tea lights. I'm sure a lot of everyone's
those little tiny candles, right?
They're just little bitty round candles, you know, they're tea lights. I would take my rucksack, my Alice pack, put it frame up, sit on it, take a tea light, put it on the frame and put my poncho over me like a regular poncho, but then use the muzzle of the M16 to prop it up. And that one little candle would keep it warm enough in there so to give you a little morale boost.
Yeah, a little tiny personal heater.
A little morale boost.
It's nice, something small and cheap you can carry. Okay, so we established sustainment, right? Everything you need, nothing you don't. The basics and a fundamental. I'm not going to do the pyramid. So if I need at least like water, calories, stuff to fight with, water, calorie, shelter, how do I carry that? So we got some things on the table. We're going to kind of go through them one by one.
Right. So we'll start with, of course, my favorite, the butt pack.
Yep.
You can't carry a lot, but you can carry enough. If you, it all works out in the shakeout. Once you're using your kit, if you've gone out a couple of times, I mean, you haven't used a specific piece of equipment, ditch it. There's no point in carrying dead weight. You know, ounces turn to pounds, pounds turn to pain, cut dead weight.
Yeah.
And then this is a machine gun pouch. You've seen it on our channel before.
Yep, we did the don't complain about gear if you didn't look on the internet, on that Babylonian rectangle. But yeah, this is a great put anything in pouch.
You can pack calories into that bad boy. It'll hold like 7 magazines. But so Taylor did an experiment not too long back. He made some like individual rations for us.
Oh yeah.
He just went to Walmart and bought them, and like mine lives in my assault pack in my truck.
Same here.
All the time now because it's 48 hours worth of calories. If you took something this format and packed it in the same manner,
yeah,
this could be 3 days of calories for you.
Yeah, that thing would easily stretch out to 3 days. You were like, I could probably stretch it further. I was like, I would like to enjoy whatever we're doing if we can, But so, there's for roll-ups and stuff in there, right? Anything you would want, sustainment and happiness.
There's 2 things right there. A 1-quart canteen and a pouch that you could pack full of granola bars, power bars, sugars, honeys, things like that right there. That's enough sustainment for a couple of days if you ration your water or filter water.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is having, for most people and like our, citizen defense capacity, I think a lot of it is really, how do I get a small water bag and a tiny little filter, like those little Sawyer ones I have in my bag.
Yeah, minis are great.
And it's just, okay, I got a little bag, I got a bag to put it in, I got some way to drip it, and I have something to have the clean water in. Just having that in addition to it, cool, like, or an extra bladder. Speaking of bladders, I guess we'll segue on. Because I love this stuff, but this is big. Honestly, that's the one downside. Like, if you're running a machine gun rig, you obviously know you're going to have to just dedicate the monster pouches to that purpose, right? But otherwise, like, it's great on a pack if you can get it to where it's not a snag. But it's a big pouch, right? So this is probably the ideal pouch. I'm going to on something here in a minute. Because this is the ideal pouch because it holds the whole system, right? We always talk about systems. So a canteen is a system with what other piece?
Right. So if you have a canteen in the bottom of the pouch, you should be able to fit a canteen cup.
Yep.
And then you can also, on the outside of the canteen cup, get a canteen cup stove, which I don't have right now because I've lost mine. I mean, it's been a long time.
In addition to your iodine and your water tablets and stuff, like this pouch is superior to most things, I think.
Oh yeah, because you can
cheaper than everything.
You can put the lid to the canteen cup in the bottom, and then the canteen stove, and then the canteen cup, and then the canteen goes in it, and you have a full cook set. I think
system.
Dave Canterbury, really high speed guy. He sells those pre-made in a package you can get. Highly recommend that. They're really cool.
So moving on, we were talking about bladders a minute ago. This is one of my chest rigs, and it's the back pieces from ATS. It's actually the T-Rex quad flap, but I did not like their hydration pouch for a couple of reasons. Well, it's not a bad pouch, but there are some reasons that it didn't work for my purpose. But this thing is great. It's actually off my ATS rig, so I basically just skeletonize it. It has some Velcro on the H-harness, some snaps, goes on. The T-Rex buckles were too big to go through the back of here. Wasn't designed for it, so I'm not going to fault them for that. But I just took the back strap off the other one, swapped them out. Who cares about camo matching anyway? And it's nice to at least have the bladder on there. I discovered at the Refuge Night FTX that if you wear a pack with a bladder between your back and the pack, do not leave it in the on position for the valve.
Pressure is a thing.
Pressure is a thing. And when you first test a new bladder out and you're just a noob and you're like, why is this leaking all over me? Why is my junk wet right now? This is kind of awkward. And it's because like, oh yeah, there's like 50 pounds of pack pushing on the water. Anyway, there's like a science lesson.
It's partly my fault too because we didn't have time to perform our buddy checks. If I'd have spotted it, I would have had him pull his bladder out and put it actually in his pack like I was running mine.
Oh yeah, and honestly, at the end of the day, I think the learning lesson is probably the most valuable part of it. So this is one of the carriers we're working with right now. It's a Redemption tactical carrier. We're testing some. Ooh, Brian, I'm getting wild.
There's Velcro everywhere.
I'm getting wild. There's Velcro. So we're testing this carrier because it's options under $200. There's not that many. TLDR, we like it so far. Stick around for that one. So I've got that T-Rex hydration pouch on the back of here. It's not a bad pouch. It's got elastic top closure. So if I had 2 water bottles, I can go to 1 water bottle, all that. The problem is it kind of sags once it's full. The other problem is it does not hold a canteen cup. And a canteen you can fit in there, but you got to smush it, right? You could probably Hercules a canteen cup in there if you wanted to, but getting it out is the issue.
While it's attached to your equipment.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. It's like, good luck doing that second part. Anyway, it's an option. It ends up being just a random stuff pouch a lot of the time because it's a good spot that's not in the way, but it does sag a little bit. It did on the other rig it was on originally. This one has a bit of elastic on the cummerbund right here, so it really does sag. So I got some zip ties on here to help a little bit, but it's better just to have something. Again, if I'm on the range and I want to stuff a water bottle or 2 in there, I can.
That's a full-size Nalgene. Nalgene. Or
yeah,
Nalgene.
And it also does hold a Nalgene.
You know, he's got it.
It's a little tight because it's a water bottle.
But it does hold a Nalgene bottle. Yeah. You know, so you got to give it credit for that.
Yeah, like it does what it's advertised to do. Just I believe that the system should be able to fit all of the standardized water containers so you can save money and more or less like use it for something else later. Most of the pouches that we're about to talk about are all like skeletonized pouches I pulled off of something. We grabbed the
so this I'm pretty excited about this. We spoke about it before. But
we're gonna do a full breakdown, but this is like a
But the name of the game right now is Sustainment.
Yeah.
So he's got 6 mags, first aid, water, 2 pistol mags, and a small first aid kit.
Yeah.
This is first aid. He could switch this out for calories.
That's originally what it was going to be, but I didn't have a IFAC pouch I could put on here.
Yeah, gotta have your blowout kit.
I have a canteen pouch. Again, like the theme of canteen pouch is doing everything. So old school Eagle surplus. It was like $5.
Yeah, these are great. These are great. But Taylor could even ditch these and put a sustainment pouch for calories with these in it or attached to it in some way. But either way, if you got to grab this and go, this is perfect. It's not going to keep you in the fight for days on end, but it'll get you from A to B in a hurry. That's kind of like the basics of sustainment. Mileage may vary. Some people don't know how to ration.
Yeah, a lot of it's really figuring out what do you actually need for a day. I think, like at the night responder and just in general, people are usually continually surprised about how much water they actually need.
Yes.
I know I am because I'm like, oh man, I sweat a lot. It's like, well, dog, you get to carry more weight. Congratulations. Good for you. Bring some electrolytes.
What are the liquid IVs he's got me drinking? They're great. If you'd like to know more about Sustainment, hit us up on our Instagram, SpicySnafu. Hit us in the comments and we can talk about it. And if you want to see another video in more depth, let us know. Yeah,
we're going to break this thing down in a little more because we talked about it in bailout bag setting like really quickly. But I think bandoliers we're going to go into as a whole just because they are such a retro OG part of the need to carry more things and they're overlooked.
What's old is new.
It is indeed. So until next time we drop some crazy mind-blowing information that's like 1,000 years old. We appreciate you, and stay beautiful, stay spicy.
Stay safe in all you do.
Or, stay sustained, I guess.
Stay sustained.
Sustain yourself, fool. I pity the fool that does not sustain himself.
Check out a tree, boss.